The fluorescent lights hummed in the Richmond VA office as rain blurred the windows. Marianne Chin, 54, sat quietly in the corner, posture straight, dressed plainly in a navy cardigan and khakis. Her silver-streaked hair was tied back, her face bare of makeup, her hands scarred and steady in her lap. The only unusual thing about her was the tiny pin on her lapel and eagle, a shield, strange markings no one recognized. Across from her, two younger vets, Brandon Walsh, loud and eager, and Derek Price traded deployment stories, each trying to outdo the other. Marianne ignored them, focused on the form she was filling out. A young woman returned her fallen ID. Marianne thanked her, but Brandon caught sight of the pin and smirked. "Check out the bling," he said loudly. "Bet she bought it at a flea market." Derek wasn't convinced, but Brandon stood and walked over. "Ma'am, what unit is that pin from?" "It's not from a unit," Marianne replied calmly, still writing. "So what? A fake commemorative thing?" He pushed. "It's a service recognition." Brandon bristled at what he read as dismissal. "Service recognition? For what? I've never seen anything like it." "It's not widely distributed?" Derek tugged his sleeve. "Come on, man, drop it." But Brandon was committed. "Stolen valor is real. That pin looks fake." Marianne finally set down her pen. Her voice stayed level. "I don't owe you an explanation." The room grew still as other vets watched. An older Vietnam vet called out, "Son, let it go." Brandon ignored him. "If it's real, explain it." Marianne stood, shorter, but somehow more imposing. "It was awarded for specific service. That's all you need to know." "Means it's fake," Brandon snapped. "Some service can't be discussed," the old vet reminded him. Brandon scoffed. Marianne walked toward the receptionist as he followed, raising his voice. "People who wear things they didn't earn disrespect, real veterans." She stopped. "I've never worn anything I didn't earn," the VA administrator called her name, giving her an escape. As she walked away, Brandon muttered loudly, "Stolen valor is a federal crime." Marianne paused at the door. "I've never stolen anything in my life, especially not honor." Inside the cramped office, Sarah Mitchell processed Marianne's forms. Large parts of her record were redacted. Several decorations marked TSCI. Sarah had seen only a handful of files like that. When voices rose outside, Brandon still ranting, she asked if Marianne needed security. "He'll tire himself out," Marianne replied. When they finished, Sarah hesitated. "I've only seen that pin once. A colonel said it was for service that doesn't appear on any record. Said only a few people had ever earned it." "That sounds about right," Marianne said. Back in the waiting room, Brandon confronted her again, questioning her age, her service, everything. The Vietnam vet tried to intervene. Derek begged his friend to stop. The young woman who had returned Marianne's ID was now quietly recording. Brandon grew heated. "If you can't explain your service, how do we know you did anything?" "Officially," Marianne said softly, "women weren't allowed in certain roles." The old vet chuckled. "Son, you're stepping in it now." But Brandon pushed again, refusing to let it go until a commanding voice from the entrance cut through the tension. A man in his early 60s entered straight posture. Precise stride, the unmistakable presence of long military command. Brandon stiffened instinctively. The man's eyes swept the room, then stopped on Marianne's pin. His expression changed instantly. He walked straight to her, stopped, and snapped a perfect salute. Marianne returned it with crisp precision. "Colonel Marcus Reeves." "Tired," he said. "It's an honor, Marianne." The room froze. Reeves turned to the others. "May I?" he asked her. She nodded. He faced the waiting room. "The pin she's wearing is called the Shadow Phoenix. It's not an official military decoration because the operations it recognizes never existed on paper. A classified committee under the Secretary of Defense awards it." Brandon opened his mouth, but Reeves silenced him with a look. "These individuals worked in denied areas. No backup. No recognition. No rescue if compromised." The room fell silent. The program ran from 1987 to 2014. Only 17 people ever received this pin. 13 are dead. 1 is deep cover. 1 is in a medical facility. Injuries unexplained. That leaves 2 people free to live normal lives. He pointed to himself and then to Marianne. I am 1. She is the other. Color drained from Brandon's face. Reeves continued. This pin isn't just recognition. It's a memorial. He showed a photograph of his 1994 team. 6 faces. We stopped Soviet chemical weapons in Sudan. 4 are dead now. I wear this for them. He looked at Marianne. Which operation? Operations, she corrected quietly. 1998 to 2012? Reeves inhaled sharply. 14 years. Most burn out after 3. Brandon stepped forward. Ma'am, I apologize. I had no idea. Most people don't, Reeves said. That's the point. The Vietnam vet stepped closer. I knew you had the look. Like part of you's still out there. Part of us never leaves, Marianne admitted. Reeves checked his watch. There's a small group of us in D.C. You'd be welcome, Marianne. Thank you, Colonel. Before leaving, he asked softly, 14 years. What kept you going? Someone had to do it, she said. And I was good at it. Reeves smiled. The best usually are? He saluted once more and left. The atmosphere in the room shifted. Skepticism melted into respect. Even awe. Brandon approached again. I let my frustration turn into suspicion. I'm sorry, truly. Your service matters, Marianne said gently. Don't diminish it because mine was different. The young woman with the ID stepped closer. How do you live with things you can't talk about? Marianne's voice softened. By knowing the alternative would have been worse. The attacks prevented, the lives saved. The cost was mine to pay. The Vietnam vet raised his coffee. Burden of the sheepdog. At the desk, Sarah handed Marianne a folder. Resources for veterans with classified backgrounds. Support groups. Colonel Reeves helped start them. Thank you. Brandon hesitated. If you ever want to share, even vague lessons, I'd listen. I'll think about it, Marianne said. Letting light in takes time. She gathered her things and stepped outside. Sunlight broke through the gray clouds. Her hand brushed the Shadow Phoenix pin symbol of missions unspoken. Teammates lost, sacrifices unseen. For 14 years. She had lived in shadows, but today someone had finally seen her. Maybe that was enough to start walking in the light.